the team again after that unsteady performance in terms of its commencement last season, where they drew a couple of matches. In fact, most of the matches they played, first 6 or 7.
I've been watching highlights from Pando, and as you can see, the stadium is really looking hot and sexy. Hearts of Oak taking on Pando Hearts of Lions, and take a look at this. Really good stuff from the Phobians and also from the home team. Good crowd to really give them that impetus. But what about that? Good chances coming both ways.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a very good game. The fans were there in their numbers, and I love the way Heart of Lions fans kept cheering the team on and on and on. And even through difficult times, they still kept chanting the warrior songs of the lads from Pando. And this really put them on their toes, put a lot of pressure on the defense of Accra Hearts of Oak. Accra Hearts of Oak still, it's not gelling as a team.
We need to talk about those 2 goals, especially the second one. It looked so sweet and easy.
No, it was well worked.
It was well worked.
It was well worked, and I'm sure Nanedu would love to talk a lot more about that.
Yeah.
But my concentration is on the fact that, yes, we were told to bring back the love. The love seems to be coming back, and especially more so when Accra Hearts of Oak have not found their feet and they've not found their rhythm. I give a stone to Nanedu. He said it, that Accra Hearts of Oak would leave Pando with nothing in the hand, and clearly Heart of Lions showed that they were the busier side and the hungrier side for success. Accra Hearts of Oak would have to come back, go to the drawing board, and now that Accra Sports Stadium has been closed down, we're yet to find out where they're going to be hosting their matches. But the next couple of matches seem to be very important and very cagey ones as well. I think Bechem United are coming to town, and so Accra Hearts of Oak will have a lot to do in terms of trying to claw back some pride and trying to let the fans understand that with time things will work. But Accra Hearts of Oak fans, time is not what they want.
Yeah, Nana, good goals, good game, chances, but the home team carried the day.
Yeah, I was not really surprised about the result, because when you look at second round of last season, Heart of Lions were one of the best teams in the second round of last season. Obeshe first round, and it didn't go on well for them in the Ghana Premier League. Had a couple of draw games, but in the second round, when you look at their records in the Ghana Premier League, it's only Baby Gold Stars to make Pando to get the 2 goals. Since then, no team has been able to go there to get it, even a goal there.
No,
they started with the Santo Kotoko, won by 1 goal to 0. They drew with Baby Gold Stars. After that game, every team that came to Pando, they lost the game without even scoring a goal in Pando. So it tells you the second round of Ghana Premier League performance improved here under Bashir Hayford. So I was not really surprised House of Oak going there. And after 80 minutes of Mutumi managing getting the draw, the last 10 minutes, they were not able to handle the pressure coming from Pando House of Lions. They brought in some experienced players who are helping the House of Lions team. When you look at the front three currently for House of Lions, former House of Oak players in Kwande Siakai in the Pando House of Lions team. Michel Sapon from the right, Abende Gotete as the centre forward, and Kojo Obin Jr. from the left. So the front three for Pando House of Lions are former House of Oak players, and I would say former House of Oak players and rejected players in the team. So they are going to Pando House of Lions to relaunch their career again in the Ghana Premier League. And that is the reason why in the second half there were a lot of pressure on the House of Oak team. So when you look at the 2 teams, quality-wise, Pando House of Lions showed some quality of display in the second half to make sure they get the maximum 3 points. House of Oak players, I've already said it here, the team will peak after week 5. But the question I'm for is, and I said, will the supporters and the pressure coming from all angles wait till week 5? That is where the question mark is. Because looking at how things are going in the Ghana Premier League, the smaller teams have started gathering a lot of points in the Premier League. Look at Vision FC. Look at Baseke Holy Stars. Look at a team like, Mediama Football Club. The kind of result that we start in the Ghana Premier League. If Sana has a full situation in Kwakwaya, the story will not be different from what we saw last season in the Ghana Premier League.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that they'll start to gel after, week 5?
Week 5.
Okay, that's great. But teams
they didn't get one of the best preseason.
Okay.
So their first 5 games in the Premier League will be like a preseason game.
They decided to go to Togo for that. And Dr. Nyahu Tamaklo has said Hearts of Oak will soon gel beautifully. This is coming from someone who's usually very critical about a lot of things. So that's support coming from one quarters. You agree with him?
Not really. And I think, when you look at the matches coming, they play Bechem on Sunday. They move to,
So we're watching, Vision FC in their 2-0 win on Monday against Accra Lions. Yeah, Accra Lions have not started very well, have they? They've lost a lot of quality players, and their youngsters as they always do every season. This again, fluffing their lines, getting that second goal, Vision winning by 2-0.
Yeah, when you look at the Accra Lions team, it's normal when we start the Ghana Premier League. Because in the summer, almost a lot of players. So the first 4 or 5 games in the Ghana Premier League, it takes time for the team to gel. So when you look at their back five, all the players who played last season are no more there.
Yep.
When the midfield now, some of the key players around, Apiga, even Blessing, Dankwa came in the second half. They are young players who are playing for Accra Lions. So a different set of players now Accra Lions using this particular season. The story is different when you talk of Vision FC. When they qualify to the Premier League, Omar manager has brought some few experienced players. Nicholas Mensah was part of the Wild Stars team that won the Ghana Premier League seasons back. He came to play for Lagos Cities, now moved to Vision FC. Isakuka is now part of the Vision FC team. And there's a young chap, 15-year-old SHS student, Labaran. In their first game at home, he won the man of the match. He's a key player, left back, a 15-year-old player. And I think when you look at the Vision FC team, prospects, talents, is there for people to watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. But the Phobians, it's interesting. They said there's no cause for alarm. They'll pick up after week 5, according to Nana Adu. And according to Dr. Yaw Ampofo, they will gel beautifully. My concern, however, is that as you gel, as you pick up, other teams are also picking up, and gaining the momentum. But the big problem Hearts of Oak face, just as their arch rivals, Asante Kotoko, is where they'll be playing their matches. And if we go by the records, the home grounds of the Phobians is the Accra Sports Stadium, right? That has also been closed. That venue has been closed down for renovation. That's the word being used by the National Sports Authority after, hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis have been pumped in to do that over the years. There's another closure for renovations. It's not the only one. Babayara, same. So Hearts of Oak, Tamale as well.
So as it stands now, Accra, Kumasi, Cape Coast and Tamale has been closed
So
down.
their options are limited now because their second choice would have been the Babayara Sports Stadium. That has been closed. So what will Hearts of Oak do now? I don't think they registered a third choice, but they'll need to look around. LWAC won't do the job. Maybe the University of Ghana Lagos Stadium, but we'll get clarification from the Hearts of Oak, management. What do you make of this really dire situation once again?
Well, we shot ourselves in our own foot. And I mean, let's be honest and let's be fair. Stadium has started needing renovations since time immemorial.
But it's been done. It's been done over and over again.
Yes, but to what extent was it done? So that we can't have renovation works every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, so you do one renovation, make sure it's done for at least 5 years.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't happen, but then you have it every 2 years.
The contractors have been putting up shoddy work?
No, it means that the contractors have not been doing the job.
Exactly.
If we want to call a spade, they can't even account for the monies given to them to do the job. So every 2 years, the problem that was faced 2 years earlier has to be revisited. The money goes in, nothing happens, and then another 2 years, more money is pumped in, and there's a cycle. And this has been going on for the past 8 years.
And I am sure this cycle will not change immediately unless we come to the realization that the Accra Sports Stadium has outlived its usefulness. We need to move on as a country that
not just the Accra Sports Stadium.
Not just the Accra Sports Stadium. The stadium have been there for ages. Now, if you visit some of the countries dotted around Africa, for example, and I can give you examples, many of the brand new stadia are being put up on the outskirts of town because they are creating a lot more awareness. They are creating the market and the viability for the game to hold.
And we just saw the AFCON.
We have gone out of... You went to La Côte d'Ivoire.
Beautiful stadiums.
The only stadium La Côte d'Ivoire could boast of once upon a time was the Félix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium.
Which has been renovated beautifully.
Which is in Ajame. It's been renovated beautifully. Yeah. But now look at the new ones that have come up. We couldn't sustain Esipon. We couldn't sustain Tamale. It's an eyesore when you go there.
These are the old stadium builds, a couple of decades ago.
So what happened to Esipon? What happened to Tamale? Yeah, last season.
We should be asking. Last
season, we covered a few matches in Tamale.
Yeah.
Even the seats are not kept well. Yeah. The floor is not swept. It's not polished. Nothing is going on at our various stadiums.
Sanitary problems, terrible.
I don't want to talk about sanitary. If Accra Sports Stadium, if it's anything to go by, then maybe Tamale is better. The washrooms are gone. There are no washrooms. I mean, people stand at the door and then... You understand? But this is a country that we have boasted of participation at under 17 at the world level. We have won it before. We've gone to the under 20s at the world level. We've won it before. We've done AFCON. We've won it before.
We spent $4 million on accreditation for all Africa games.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
also
story
has
for
been
another
denied.
day.
But I think we
That's
need
a
to look
story for another day.
at what actually happened to the money given for the
Yes,
accreditation.
that's all.
And
Nobody
how much for
seems to
food?
be surprised
How much for food?
at the stage at where we are now. We don't have Cape Coast. We don't have Accra. We don't have Tamale.
You don't have
Esipong is
Esipong
already
has been-
dead.
yeah. Quick
And then
one,
we
though.
don't have Babayara.
In the past, countries would play outside of their homes
Yeah.
because of war or civil strife or anything that security-wise CAF felt, or even FIFA, if it's a World Cup qualifier, thought it would be dangerous. We've had it in the past. Even North Africans, when they had problems, not because of infrastructure. And then just recently, this issue keeps coming to the fore. The president of CAF, Dr. Mosepe, was asked this question about increasingly countries in Africa playing their matches away from home, not necessarily due to civil strife, but the quality of pitches also now being a problem, where we thought we had passed that stage many, many years ago. Let's listen to his very interesting response.
There's nothing that frustrates me more than a national team or a football team from Kenya, bad example, because you've got wonderful facilities, but from a country to go and play outside. You can't build football in any country in Africa if the national team or the football clubs do not play in front of their nations. And that's why the passion of President Ruto and his commitment makes me so proud. Makes me so proud. And he doesn't just love football. When I went to see Talanta, they said the president has been here himself to investigate and to see the work that's been done. So I'm very clear that we've made good success in reducing the number of countries that plays outside their nation. But in every meeting I have with the head of state, and that's why the relationship between NIC and the government, it's something that I'm very happy about. Because in every country, the emphasis is let's work together to make sure that we've got at least one stadium that's at the FIFA and CAF standards. And that's partly why this increase of money that we've been fighting for, we've doubled what the member associations are getting now. The gentleman was asking about ethics. Very important question, the financial position. We've doubled the money, of what the member associations are getting, but we need much, much more. So, excellent question. And I was in Rwanda, they opened a new stadium. I was in Senegal, they opened a new stadium. In Cameroon, excellent. Mamadou in Côte d'Ivoire, world class. Djibouti also is doing good progress. Comoros. So that's one of the things that we emphasize with each president, to say, let's work together. It's good for our people in the country, and it's good for football development.
Yeah, Dr. Motsepe there, speaking sense to the issue. So, yeah, you hear of Djibouti, Mauritania, Comoros, Cape Verde. We were in Cape Verde in 2005 when the Black Stars had to play them to qualify. Their stadium was nothing to write home about.
Yep.
Now Cape Verde is putting up an ultra-modern facility. And look at their results on the pitch as well, investment.
I remember that particular game.
Yeah.
As a chief commentator that day.
At
for
Chepa,
that is 2005. I remember that game.
But they've gone up.
Like Kenson and staff were in the
Cape
team.
Verde now beating Ghana at the AFCON, and facilities too much.
And the president was talking about Djibouti, Cape Verde,
Comoros.
Rwanda, Comoros,
Right.
having the
World class.
category 3 stadium that can host grade A national team game in their country.
And we can't do
and
that.
as it stands now, we don't have it.
There's another issue of concern, Prince.
Don't be surprised.
The funding that goes to member associations in Africa
Sure.
has doubled.
Has doubled.
So at least you can strategically plan to develop your
That
facilities.
is why
But
it
it's,
got to a
it's
time.
because whatever we put into it is ad hoc.
Yeah.
whatever we put into it is ad hoc. And so we can afford to renovate a certain section or portion, and then we think that it's done. But it's not done. The whole stadium itself.
This was the Black Stars at the Accra Sports Stadium, and I was speaking to Frank Boyne, the CEO of Greengrass Technology. I said, Frank, how come we can train here, we play one game, and then it deteriorates? I mean, you've been in charge for a while. And he said, look, he's called to do work maybe a few weeks to a match. So it is not a permanent contract.
Yeah.
The rest of the work permanently on a full-time basis is done by the National Sports Authority pitches team, right? So when the match is over and done with, it is left and then it deteriorates over a period of time. And this cycle has continued, so you don't really get that concentration and consistency of quality pitches which you can use over and over again. And even with the Kumasi Stadium, Frank Boyne was called, he did his survey, handed in his reports, gave his recommendations, expecting to get a feedback. Nothing was heard from him, and the maintenance work was given to the stadium authorities, NSA, and unfortunately couldn't come up with the goods.
It takes me back to my earlier submission. It's almost always ad hoc, on ad hoc basis. Now, even though Frank may have gone through the system that he went through, let's assume that he did that. Did we have funds readily available for such an exercise? No.
He was told there was no money.
Exactly. Why? Because it is not something that we have fathomed that it may come to play until a certain CAF comes in to tell us that, look, your stadium is not good enough for Category 3. Should we wait for that to happen? I don't think so.
Inspection team came and they were kind.
I don't think so, yes. But it must almost always be ready for any eventuality. We have had Liberia, for example, come play international, their home matches away from home.
I remember Togo
at the Accra Sports Stadium. Yes, a few countries have done that.
Which means less than 5 years.
Exactly, which means that that level, the stadium was good. What did we do to maintain that international quality, that acceptable quality? We forgot all about that. And we have allowed the various stadia to rot away.
Professor Chumesi obviously came under a lot of criticism. There was a lot of backlash, when the stadia at various regions were given out for, entertainment, musical concerts, church, conferences and congresses, what have you. But he's been absent for a couple of months and things have gotten worse. We didn't think it would get worse. I mean, with all due respect, if he was bad, now it's even worse.
Yeah, my question, or the question that I have on my mind, which beats my imagination almost all the time, is simple. Why should the Chief Executive Officer of the National Sports Authority
be a political
appointee?
Well,
when we have had people who have actually studied physical education, which comes with management of facilities.
What was her name? Auntie Alice. Is it Atipo?
Yes, Alice Atipo.
Before that, WK Agra.
We had Agra.
We also had
Prince
Odro Mensah.
Prince Odro Mensah.
And let me give you a quick one on Prince Odro Mensah, 60 seconds. Just a quick one. My first encounter with him was around 2009, 10-ish, therearound. And beach soccer wanted to register as a new sport. And this man was exceptional. He was excellent. His support and his advice, very proactive NSA boss. Not just for that, but I hear when you talk to other people, he did a great job generally. We've not had those kind of administrators since him and the others you've mentioned.
So which obviously tells us that there are almost always square pegs in round holes. Now let me take you back a couple of years ago, an interview I had with the then director of Ghana Police Sports, Mr. Chumesi Ankra. He made a profound statement, and I'll repeat it here. He says, Prince, it is only the Ministry of Youth and Sports that will employ a carpenter as the minister, quote and unquote. Now, it takes my mind back to ask myself, okay, so the people we put in charge of managing the affairs, the sports facilities that we have in this country, what background do they have? Are they well equipped to handle the task ahead?
The current chap there is called Mr. Doji.
Yes.
Yeah, I know him from former, Ghana High Commissioner in the UK. He was special aide to Honourable Papa Osu Ankoma.
Political situation.
And he's here to take over that position.
Okay. So now, let's try and juxtapose that to if we had the people who had the know-how in place. then obviously we would have had a smooth transition whereby you would see a lot more involvement with the National Sports Authority, particularly when it comes to stadium management. How did we lose Esipon, which was classified as one of the best stadia we had in this country? If you speak to Didier Drogba today, his memory of Cannes 208 was the Esipon Stadium, because La Côte d'Ivoire only had to take a drive, cross the border, and they were camped in the second D. That's one of the fondest memories he has about the Esipon Stadium.
Yeah, let's come back home. Looks like a good pitch, but when you get closer...
Oh, from far, it looks good. But close up, too many weeds, more weeds than grass.
Yeah, so let's move up. Accra Sports Stadium in Swaziland before their game against their North African rivals. It wasn't a good weekend for Ghanaian teams. One defeat, one draw, but if you're playing the North Africans, you know that even a draw at home, even a win, slim, is not good enough. The coaches also talked about the pitch. They didn't make a big issue of it, but in particular, the coach of Raja Casablanca, he said, well, we're not happy with the 2-2 draw. It feels like a defeat because we had to manage the conditions, including the pitch. So he wasn't happy with that. But not a good weekend for Eswatiraman or Samatex.
I think personally, I think with both teams,
you think they're out?
They are out of the competition.
No miracle for Samatex?
It will be difficult for a West African side to draw against a North African side in West Africa and go to North Africa and pick the maximum win. This time around, Samatex need to go there and pick a straight win before they can qualify to the group stage of the competition. And you look at the rich experience of the Raja Casablanca team. They are ahead of our teams in this country. So I was not really surprised after the 90 minutes, under the pressure, so by scoring that goal, making it 2-2. It tells you, they've been prepared for this particular stage. They've been consistent at this stage, making sure things will work for them. When you look at their team, most of these players are, international stars who can make the difference in most of the national teams that we have in Africa. So the quality in the Raja Casablanca team is way ahead of the Samatex team. Samatex on the day were not lucky. After conceding the first goal, they were able to come back into the game to win by 2-1 before the first 45 minutes. I don't know what happened in the second half.
You need to give them credit for that resolve.
Especially in the first half, especially when they were down by a goal. To come back in the same 45 minutes, space of 15 minutes, to score 2 goals to make it 2-1 before the 45 minutes. It means they did something right.
And just like in Swaziland, they were not clinical. They had other chances that they could have converted.
And then in Swaziland team, there are little things that didn't work for them. Inexperience is one of them. And I think the Constantine coach was very tactical on some key players in various positions. So when you look at their players, they are really target people and making sure they score an away goal. Whereas some of these North African side, about West Africa, the most important thing, they want to score a goal.
Away goal.
Now that is the assurance goal that they know. A goal or two can lead them to the qualification. So that is what they came here to make sure so much Maya at Accra Sports Stadium.
All right, let's go for a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about the CAF Confederation Cup and also the Champions League. And then we'll have a lot more besides on other issues coming up before the GPL Week 3. See you soon.
GPL Headquarters.
It's like you win.
The best in online games is here. Lucky Win Ghana. If we say Sika Wofia and Nije Wofia this year, dear, it's your chance to chop big. So play any of our games such as Super Spin, Cash Spin, Classic Roulette, Penalty Shootout, Slot 777, Crash Games, and more at www.luckywin.com.gh. With a minimum of 1 Ghana cedis, you stand a chance to win instant cash prizes up to 1 million Ghana cedis on your phone. Plus, you can withdraw your cash prizes at any time of the day. So hurry now, because Mr. Money know the waste time. Lucky Win, play with less, chance to win big. This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, only for persons 18 years and above. Gaming can be addictive.
Are you ready? Once again, it's on. So let's get ready to rumble. Season 3 of the
Bell 7-Star Professional Boxing League
is back. Bigger, better, harder than ever before. With the best boxing gyms in Ghana participating. Who takes home the brand new Renault car?
It's Fight Night 5 of the Bell 7-Star Professional Boxing League. Round by round, blow by blow, pound for pound. This Saturday, 21st September 2024.
At the Bukom Boxing Arena, 8:30 p.m. sharp. Live on Max TV and Star Times, channel 247. Proudly brought to you by IMAX Boxing Promotions. The Ghana Professional Boxing League is sponsored by
7-Star Energy Drink, Trust Sports Emporium Limited, Max by
Renault
and Techno.
GPL Headquarters.
All right, welcome back. So let's talk about the Confederation Cup and also the Champions League Confederation of African Football. So the two Ghanaian teams were expecting something big as they were drawn against Constantine of Algeria and Raja Casablanca of Morocco. Up first, of course, the Algerians looking very confident, taking on Samatex and Raja Casablanca. Bigger crowd turnouts, on Sunday for the game, and I happened to go up to where the what are they called? Those supporters, the radical supporters. There's a word for them, the ultras, and they said no photos, no videos. I asked them, "What? You're in my country. I'm a journalist."
May have heard a little bit about their opponents, but I'm sure that their general manager, Mr. Edmond Aka, who has a lot of rich experience when it comes to the African terrain, also chipped in what they should do. I mean, the do's and don'ts on the field of play. It was difficult for them. I said, just unfortunate that at this stage of the competition, you are paired against one of the top high-ranked teams in Africa.
And then it's a leg of the main forward to make sure he can play from that angle.
And from now on, not a Fred Harder into the corner.
Yes. That would have been a goal for them. I think they did well, The midfielders and the attack of the Samson throughout the season for Samatex, and he has started the season again playing as a modern day left back with a lot of attack and make sure he powers the ball from a long range. Super player in the Samatex team.
Yeah, so 2-1 at the break, and there was hope that at least Samatex would get a third just to give them that chance. Yeah, these are the ultras I was talking about. So when I went there to take photos, they gave me their scarf. They could take photos. I could take it with their scarf, but they reckon I shouldn't film them because you see the logos over there are banned. So I don't know how they were even allowed. You can see at the bottom of the screen there, the ultras written. Yeah. They are not recognized, group. They're banned from international.
So they came with a team from Algeria?
They came on their own from Algeria. They did not join the team, so the team has disassociated themselves from them, but they're their supporters.
But did we know about this ban on the logo before we allowed them into the stadium?
It's internationally known that the ultras are...
so why did we allow them into the stadium?
Prince, you're asking a question. There's a lot. When the fundamentals are weak, there's a problem.
Because if CAF should take their matter up,
well, there's video evidence.
Exactly. So why do you allow it? It is banned.
And they didn't travel with the team. They came on their own and they vanished after the match.
So you prevent them from outdooring it. Putting them on the
maybe
stands.
security-wise, so we did not do enough.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, you either ban them from entry or seize their political banners because it was all about politics, in the stands. But that's just another side of it. So at 2-1, they came back and Raja kept on knocking and they got the equalizer.
They got back into the game, and I think it's a positive one for Mediama. At least they've learned their lessons from Samatex.
Yeah, you're still thinking last season.
Remembering the good old days
of what Mediama did last season.
Exactly. But it's a very good omen for Samatex. They did not bow their heads in shame. I believe that they did what they could do, and which also gives us the impetus to believe that in the return encounter in Morocco, it could be a different story, although it's a very tall order, if you ask, because obviously this is the first time they find themselves in the Champions League for the very first time, I said, and it's an eye-opener for them. I have listened to interviews and tidbits from the likes of Edmond Aka, from Dr. Century himself, and they're not putting pressure on the team, as it were, to excel. It's just the first time outing. They would want a better and a steady performance from Samatex. Who knows? They could defend the league title they won, and it could give them another opportunity to go into Africa and better their lot. But congratulations to the team on a 2-2 draw. At least they didn't lose. Let's see how they will perform when they go to Morocco.
Yeah, I think what, Edmund Aka was saying, and also their coach, is that at least they did not lose.
Sure.
To Raja. Raja's a big team.
And the coach was talking about, he has studied them after playing 490 minutes with them, so he knows how they play. So he will find a different strategy before he moves to Morocco. And the good thing is, you have a direct flight from Ghana to Morocco.
Sure.
So their traveling will not be like the in Swatraman own that they have to pass through Turkey before they move to Algeria. So maybe those things can make the trip for some others, but I think it may be late for them to qualify.
Well, maybe late for them to qualify. The coach also made mention of the fact that per the bad pitch that we had, it could have been a very different story. So again, it tells you that, especially for the technical team of Samatex, they would have to do a lot more to come up with a strategy to match their opponents boot for boot when they play in Morocco. Because when they're playing at home, it's normally usually a different ball game. And they come up with all these tricks in the game of football. We all know what the North Africans can do. But for a young team like Samatex, holding the perennial champions at least to a drawn game in their own backyard, I wouldn't to believe that a similar story can happen in Morocco.
Okay, I caught up with the coaches after the game. Let's hear what they had to say.
Samatex 1996. Moteta to take. Teta whips one into the box.
It's like the equalizer during the second half, it's like we just dish it out to them, and that is small from we didn't defend well in that situation.
You had so many chances in this game to have won comfortably. What happened?
Yeah, that is we were wasteful in front of goal, and I think that caused. We are aware that when you make minor mistakes, they punish you for that. So, but all not said, we are going to fight back. Now we have seen them. I've seen how they play, so I'll also see how I'll strategize to go there. They are using some antics and all those things, so we'll see how we can be very, very resilient and then fight. We have to imbue in the boys' fighting spirit, and then so that we can go and fight them there.
I'm not happy. I'm happy because we don't lose the game, but normal we must win this game. Of this field where we play, it's not possible to play, but how we play today, I say congratulations, that is big win for my team. And because of that, I'm proud of this young. How he play and where we play of this field, very difficult, very difficult.
Many chances for Samatex. They also were unlucky sometimes.
Sometimes, but sometimes. That is the football. I say thank you very much to Ghana. Thank you very much for these people. And special thanks for our supporter who coming with us here. Thank you very much and see you inshallah in Casablanca.
Okay, so a bit of contradiction there. They disassociated with the supporters, with their political movement, but then they thanked them for coming to support them in Accra. But anyway, he wasn't happy. The Bosnian coach claiming the pitch was not...
Yeah, it's not a claim.
No, I'm quoting him, that the pitch was not what they're used to play good football.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Raja Casablanca, just like any other European team or any team that plays in a well-structured environment, does not play on this pitch, and I'm sure even their training facility is much more quality than what they came to meet here at the Accra Sports Stadium. And he didn't say it once, he didn't say it twice, So it tells you that yes, there is something fundamentally wrong with our stadium, and that we need to move away from that system of ad hocism, if there's a word like that, so that we do things and do things right.
The fundamentals.
Exactly. And yeah, mind you, our stadium don't breathe and they don't rest. Accra, Kumasi, day in, day out, there's a flow of activity, quite apart from activities that are not football related. So we must take all these things into consideration and ensure that, look, to meet a certain criteria, we need the barest minimum, you know, but so that we don't face this difficulty that we're facing.
The problem, Nane, you say, it's not as if there's records of money is being pumped in over and over again for renovation, you know, for maintenance. But the money, we don't know what's going on, and it's rather embarrassing us.
He just told you what is going on. Create and share.
Create and share.
Yeah.
At the expense of Ghana, at the expense of football.
But that's what's happening,
At the expense of potentially not qualifying for the AFCON, not qualifying for the World Cup. I'm not saying we should blame the pitch alone.
Making some positions very
and just said pitch don't quite. I mean, Angola came and scored. So we can't say it was because of the pitch Ghana lost. But the pitch was a contributory factor.
It was.
The thing is, why don't you make it easier? Thomas Partey actually pleaded with His Excellency the Vice President when he visited him in a camp.
After giving them that money.
500,000 Ghana cedis. He said, okay, thank you, but we want the pitch. We want to play good football when we come.
Couldn't that 500,000 have gone into some maintenance on the pitch, for example,
Maybe
so that we avoid all these things? He doesn't know.
Maybe.
And that is the fault of the technical people. Why are they technical?
And I was
These
told
things are their fingertips.
by two workers of Greengrass that on 3 occasions, Andre Ayew and his brother Jordan had given them monies to say, look, Charlie, do extra work for the pitch. We're playing here next week or next 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yes. They said it themselves, you know. Anyway, let's move on to beach soccer. And, of course, the 2024 season is fast getting to that stage where it's deadly. Nungwa beats Okre by 8-1. The Oni Mountain team from the eastern region. Senya out of coverage area. 3 points, 3 goals for Cheetah. Layoka also whipped Dansoman by 10-4. And Layoka move up to joint first. And Teshi United were beaten by Sea Sharks by 6-2. And then in the zone 2, Ocean Stars beat Mighty Warriors. Mighty Warriors beat Ocean Stars 4-1. 4 goals again by Iron Breakers. They beat Sunset Sport. And it was another 4-4 draw between Ada Insurance and Keji Miracle. These are results coming in from week 12 of the Beach Soccer League. And so Cheetah lead, but look at that. They and Layoka, the team from La. Layoka is made up of the 70-plus clubs that make up the La communities, and they are very solid. And they are keeping a close eye on Cheetah, the defending champions from that zone. But the Cheetah is way ahead on goals difference. It's going to be cracking. And this weekend, we'll see Layoka versus Nungwa. Cheetah versus Nungwa, and Layoka take on Cheetah the penultimate week. And then that's the table. It looks like Mighty Warriors are going to clear it with about 3 games to go, unless they lose the remaining games and Iron Breakers can close it. Defending champions, Ada Insurance, are out of contention. It's been a battle. And former champions, 3 times champions, Sunset, are there in 4th. That zone, Prince, is not easy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's hot over there. And they will continue. Matches will continue this weekend. On Thursday, I'll bring you the fixtures for this weekend. And also news on the Beach Sports Festival on the World Cleanup Day, which comes up this weekend. Okay, so before we take our first phone call, Ben Nens, I'm sure you have a few words of congratulations.
Congratulations to Ben Nens, known now as the development chief of the Ghana state. Wonderful job he's done from the Ghana Olympic Committee and, of course, other areas where he has worked. A lot of people know and love Ben Nens for that.
And his name is Ni Kojo Ashefie Papanyira the First. Ashefie, is it correct?
Ashifie. I've not seen the name.
Yep. Papanyira the First.
Ashifie,
yep. He's
we'll
the development chief.
Yes, but it's a step in the right direction. I mean, everybody knows the kind of person Uncle Ben is.
That's his son next to him.
His love for what he does knows no bounds. And everybody or anybody who has had an encounter with him has almost always left. And he's also left an indelible mark in the kind of support, the kind of progress, especially associated to those of us in the sporting fraternity. So I think congratulations is in order for him. And I can only hope and pray that the good Lord gives him a lot more strength, continue with the good work that he is doing, Ghana Olympic Committee notwithstanding, but of course to bring a lot of development, positive development to the chiefs and people, the youth of the Ghana state. So congratulations, Uncle Ben. I doff my hats for you.
Okay, congratulations in order indeed. And so confirmation of the results coming in match week 2 and the standings. Early days yet, but it's still noteworthy that BDM are unbeaten. They're on 6th. Vision FC.
Only team with 100% record.
Yeah.
Winning all the 2 games.
Kotoko have an outstanding game, but it's looking interesting. There are no easy or cheap teams in the Ghana Premier League now. It's tough every week. And once Kotoko play, they are outstanding. But the thing is, Instratraman will be travelling. So I'm not too sure they'll be able to play midweek. And
Kotoko is moving their home game to Obuasi Lenkley Sports Stadium.
It is. Abrankesi couldn't work out.
Yeah. They have moved the game to Obuasi. That is what.
And again, that would also have an effect on your support base. They have to make an extra trip, an extra journey, extra cost.
All the Kotoko fans are used to going to the Obuasi.
Yes, I know, but
back in the day,
it's good to have like Pando Hearts of Lions getting their home back. Yeah, it will be very difficult to beat them.
Especially when it's their first home game.
This is interesting. The Accra clubs are lifting up everybody. I mean, is that home hospitality or what?
They are the landlords.
So they have to protect the rest of the clubs.
Legon City's Accra Lions House of Folk.
Legon City's Accra Lions, Accra House of Folk. All the Accra clubs at the bottom showing some hospitality. But I'm sure as time goes on, they will move up. And we said that last season. Hearts of Oak have got to be careful. Good news is that they've still got support. Coach Ouattara still has the support of management and the board. And it looks like they're confident they will turn a very difficult start.
Well, it's going to be tough for the Phobians, but at least they need to bounce back to winning ways because the fans are so agitated about what's happening to the team. But we can only look forward for a better and a positive output in the next.
And the team game is a make or break for the head coach. If that game doesn't go well for House of Folk, pressure will be on the coach.
Definitely. On Thursday, we'll bring you all the news on that as well as all the other details. And of course, looking forward to the World Cleanup Day, which, as I said, will be at the weekend, and Beach Sports Festival at the La Boma. We'll bring you all the details of that. And beach rugby is about to make an entrance into Ghana, so we'll look at that as well. Big thanks to Prince Annang and also to Nana.
But don't forget, let our viewers also know that Friday all roads lead to the International Conference Center, or the State House, for the state burial of, over to you, Joe Latte.
Very good reminder. May his soul rest in peace. Yep, definitely. Joe Latte will be put to late rest on Saturday.
There will be
boxing on Saturday evening.
Boxing on Saturday evening.
There's a lot happening. On Thursday, we'll bring you all the latest on the Ghana professional
Looks like everything is happening on Max TV.
Absolutely, definitely. And as even with the Ghana Premier League, we'll bring you all the very latest as well behind the scenes. Okay, guys, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Good night. Bye for now.